let's just ground in a little bit with each other before we get started. So I know sometimes the balls don't always sound, well, I'll just make sure everybody's muted so that we don't have that distorted messengers sound. So I could see who else is still joining. There we go, Heidi came in. For any, oh, there's Sophia Conia's coming too. Hey Sophia, hey Heidi. There's a few more people. I'm just gonna start with the sound, but let people in as they come. So yeah, just connect in with your breath and with the space. You can even look to that backdrop of Anita's, which is Dendera, Hathor's temple, the house of Horus. Because she nursed Horus when Isis was in hiding. Just feel into all this expansion and love and beauty and abundance and joy that's always surrounding us. And bliss. So as you sit there, you can feel yourself supported by the earth, Father Geb in ancient Egyptian mythology. Overarched by Nut, the sky goddess. And Hathor is also known as the goddess of the sky. And the Milky Way, she that nurtures. Mother's milk is also the Milky Way. So just feel held by the mother archetype, enveloped with her beauty. As the maiden, you're approaching the Virgo season as well. So it's that virgin maiden energy, purity, just a newness to life and everything that is. So just breathe into that. And just hold in your heart what you're grateful for and just send out some love. First, love to yourself, and then love to whoever else you want to send out, even if it's somebody that you at the moment are not seeing eye to eye with or not in alignment with. Just hold love and gratitude for the lessons right now. Just breathe in and breathe into your heart. As we come into this space, and I'm going to start sharing the slides. We'll be doing another meditation towards the end when we do one of the practices. So I just first want to say welcome everyone. I know we have some newcomers and we have some old folk, and there's many that couldn't for some reason log in and that's going to listen to the recording afterwards. But I first want to just say how challenging it actually was for me to show up today. I want to presence that. I come from a place as a teacher to be very honest about my own experiences, and also because where I teach from is what I've experienced and what I've learned and what I've embodied. And I'm like, how can I teach on love, happiness, beauty, joy, if I'm not feeling that right now? You know, was not feeling that right now at all. How can I teach on that? How can I teach on love and attune to Hathor's frequency of love when I feel my heart is broken in a million pieces? And I've given up on the hope of love and, and just relationships and all of that. So I'm in this deep journey and I'm showing up and I'm choosing to come from it from a very different perspective. Really, the lesson of the self-love. I mean, I thought I've worked on this for all of my life. I have, but clearly I have more layers, many more layers to this that I'm working through right now, and it's intense lessons, so intense lessons. And I'm looking forward to being in 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks. We'll be in Dendera and Hathor's temple again, and I'm really looking forward to that attunement. But the thing is, once you've had, as many of you, the activation, it's easier to go into that place, right? And even if you haven't been there yet, you're able to go there. So, oh yeah, Caitlin. Okay, great. So she was just messaging me. Hey, Caitlin. She's also from Canada originally. So welcome, Caitlin. Sorry, we've been having some issues with the sign on today. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. We just did an opening quick meditation, and I was just sharing where I'm at. And now I'm going to be talking about Hathor and just give some nuances on this topic for you guys. So let me share my screen, and then go to well, I have so many Zooms open now. Let me just get this set to full screen and then present. Okay, so let me just make sure I have the tab with all your faces a little lower down. Well, let's put it up. Okay, so today we're going to celebrate. So she's known as the goddess of love, joy, and beauty in ancient Egypt, Hathor. So, we always want to come when we approach a temple and a goddess. We want to offer up, create an altar space, create a sacred space with offerings of myrrh, incense, or whatever incense you have, flowers, and here we can see in this hieroglyph how Ptolemy was offering flaming myrrh incense to Hathor. So this is also at Hathor's temple, and this photo is actually from Cleopatra's pool in Siwa, but with the sistrum, with the Hathor sistrum, which is an ancient, I have it here too afterwards, an ancient sound tool, but it's also an activation tool, activating the Kundalini, activating the life force energy, and recalibrating yourself. So we can celebrate. She's also known as the Lady of Life, dance with the sounds of her sacred sistrum, resembling the symbol of the life, Ankh, resembles the Ankh. And this was used in the temples, a lot of hieroglyphs in Dendera with the drum and the sistrum, and invites you to get more in touch with your joy and playfulness and dancing. Even if you're not feeling it, it's actually good to just get into that state of like today, when I got dressed up for today, I felt much better. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. I'm raising my vibration and the adornment. And that's why in ancient times, they also had all these adornment practices. Adornment beauty practices, the way they put their eyeliner on, and they had like blush and all kinds of makeup that they made naturally from stones and natural from nature that they used. But it was all to adorn themselves with oils and so forth, to make you feel like a goddess and holy and loved, and you're intimate with yourself and doing this. So her ruling planets is Pluto and the Sun. She was also the consort to God Ra, and actually Horus too, even though she nursed him as well, and a soul midwife, so she helped souls transition as well, bridging boundaries between worlds. So very magical indeed. So he is honoring her virtues of pleasure, sexuality, femininity, by remembering what it is we most desire. So, what it is we desire, and also know that we're worthy of it. We're worthy of, what we want to call into our lives, what we want to manifest in our lives. So always come from that place that you are worthy and that it's already there, because it actually is already there. We just haven't fully attuned or integrate or taken it in for ourselves yet. So it's always there. The abundance is always there. The beauty is always there. And that's why, regardless of how hard things may get for myself, I love to daily really revel in the beauty that's around me. Look at the beautiful landscapes of nature and the people surrounding me daily, and experiences and interactions. So her spirit animal is the sacred cow. So that's how she's depicted in her animal form, which represents fertility and strength. The pharaohs had to fight the bull to reinstate their pharaohship. They used to do this at Saqqara, which is the stepping pyramid. But you'll see this symbolism of the cow and fertility everywhere. And so she's also the element of air, and air is interchangeable. It brings change. And this year is an epic year for change for so many people. And especially in relationships. Can I have an amen for people that are being challenged in their relationships right now? Yes, this year is a huge up-leveling in relationships. Let me just see, there's some chats going. Yeah, amen. Thank you, Caroline. So, and like I said, she represents the Milky Way and mother's milk, the nurturance. So just like in this photo of Cleopatra at her temple in Dendera, allow her to light your inner fire as the maiden archetype, one of purity, virginity, and passion. And I must admit, and those, Gabriella and Sophia that was there, and Kate, when we were at Dendera's temple, I don't know, people were like, what did they take? What did they drink? We were so high on ecstasy. We were just laughing nonstop. We were giddilish. We were like in love, like we just made love. We were just in a very ecstatic state. It was so beautiful. And I will never forget that. And I'm so looking forward to being in that state again. And just thinking of that, and brings me right back to that. And it's there. It's there. The frequency is there. We can just attune to it. Oops, I went back. Okay. So attune with the abundance of a love and presence already in your life. So it's really asking and taking note and celebrating. So just like her birthday celebration today is, what can I celebrate in this moment in time of people that is showing up with love, with respect, with beauty and abundance, and I can name a few on this call that has recently checked in with me that, I'm just hold so much gratitude and love for. So that's all around. It's all around us all the time, and really aligning and putting attention to those people instead of the relationships that the energy is not flowing, where it's not aligned, where it just feels depleting and it's not in your highest good and it's not adding to this intention you're setting for yourself. Okay, we did that. So gather in a temple at Dendera and get curious about how play, joy, love, and intimacy already manifests in your life. And then playfulness. Ask daily, how can you be more playful in your life with everything that you do? You know, the example that I use when I'm challenged with my kids, I start singing. I start singing what I'm challenged with. And that would usually break up the energy, and and they will change it up. So I'm just gonna, some of you've seen this video, but it's a great way of just going to, it's quick, going to her temple with the frequencies and some of the mystery teachings as well, and then we'll continue with the teaching. Okay, so yes, so now we'll just continue. Thank you for letting me know about the sound. I thought I was muting myself, so you don't hear me, and then I muted the whole thing. But in any case, so drink up her blessings, just being, seeing that beauty in her temple, because her temple's just one of the temples that have more of the colors preserved in the hieroglyphs as well, more of those richer colors, the blues and so forth. So it's really a beautiful space. But, when we receive our blessings, is to practice that self-love, empathy and kindness. And that starts with how we treat ourselves. I'm my own worst critic, and often when I feel other people are not kind to me, I have to really look at, well, am I being kind to myself? And what messages am I sending to myself? In order to expect that of others, I need to treat myself with kindness and patience and in celebration and with respect, which, often can, be a challenge. So let her be the unifier by starting an I love you practice. So I love you practice for yourself. Really looking, I know this sounds cliche and a lot of people say that, but looking into the mirror and talking about the things that you really appreciate about yourself, the things that you love about yourself, the things that you enjoy about yourself. Instead of, we're always so focused in self-help, what can we do better? What can we change? What can we do better? What can we do differently? Instead of looking, well, what are we doing right? What is working? What is beautiful? What is to be celebrated? And just come more from that place, and to nurture ourselves. Here, Hathor is nurturing the pharaoh, and because she was also seen to, feed the pharaoh. And, it's how are we nurturing ourselves to, with everything that we do, not just food, but everything we expose ourselves to, the environments we expose ourselves to, the friendships we expose ourselves to, all the interactions we expose ourselves to. So I have this new thing that I started saying just recently, because I've lately have gotten myself in some situations where afterwards, because my pattern that I'm trying to change is this people pleasing pattern, trying to just always please people and just accommodating their needs. And I'm really coming from a place now where I'm like, because I love myself, I'm no longer willing to do X, Y, Z because I love myself, to start with that kind of sentence and reassurance first. So, we can rejoice with the people that we're already connecting with, that has that soul essence and that, vibration and frequency we want to align with more, and we want to call forth more. So it's always who's those people in alignment. We just had a beautiful love circle again on Friday night at Sophia Connier's space here in Bermuda. And it's just a beautiful spiritual community of like-minded people that really want to bring forth more love, attuned to more love, and break away from all these, the ways we've been conditioned around love, the limitations around love. So it's beautiful to align with people like that. And she reminds you, Hathor, that love is power. Love is such a powerful, beautiful frequency to attune to, and to accept life as is and start seeing the beauty all around, just to be in the being and the flow, instead of resisting. It's everything that we resist, that's where the energy is not flowing. And then to create a lush environment for your love life to blossom. And this love life is not particularly, well, this is what I'm learning, because I always want to, just coming out of a 22-year marriage right now, I'm like, okay, thinking I need to find somebody else to have this with. And I'm really learning about, it's creating this lush, beautiful goddess environment for the love life I'm creating for myself. It doesn't need to be, if the other enters into that space, great, but it's not about the other. It's not about the other, it's about me. So, and then also consider all the senses of this sensual experience. When I was in May in Egypt, I actually found a new perfumery chic that we're going to go to. And he reads energy, and he's a healer, beautiful man, and he creates all these beautiful goddess oils. And and he was like telling, like he had a prescription for me with all these oils every day, how I should like adorn myself and burn it and put it on, and what's being called. It's a whole ritual and practice. And this is what they did, the goddesses and the priestesses. And I'm not doing it for anyone else but for me. So tune into that dream realm and also observe how she's showing up, because once you start doing these essences, these frequencies of Hathor, you'll feel her presence. You may dream about her and see symbolisms of her. So this is her temple in Dendera. This is, at sunrise. But just imagine that lushness, this was filled with fragrant flowers and incense burning and music and just rich in colors, if you can imagine it in the ancient times, how beautiful that was, and just to feel in that presence. So honoring the dual nature within and without when it comes to love. So the hermaphrodites, the androgen, the anima, animus, and hieros gamos. I'm going to just talk about that right now. So to soar in love. So this is actually, I'll show you the book afterwards too, or I don't know, maybe you can see my screen. Dreams of Isis. This is actually my son, that's 6 years old, favorite book. There's no pictures in it. It's a very heavy book, heavy read, spiritual read by Norman D. Alice, which is a teacher of mine. And he's always, Mommy, read me your Egyptian book, read me your Egyptian book. And then he falls asleep to that. And it talks about this. So she has this about divine love and, the sacred union, sacred marriage, and, and the difference between the you make me happy love, which is mostly romantic and sexual desires, a union of the hermaphrodites, where the inner and outer images of each individual's conscious and unconscious personalities have not yet been integrated. And that's why we keep triggering each other. We keep like looking at each other to fulfill each other. There's so much expectations placed on the relationships because we haven't integrated and embodied that for ourselves. And yet this is an ongoing process. We're human, we're going to make mistakes, but I feel depending on where people are at, if you meet somebody that's more in alignment with you in that process, one can hold more of a empathy and love and understanding of where each other is at in that. So, and then there's the spiritual divine love, a union of the androgen, a divine union of the lover and the beloved of the soul, of the man and woman and their higher selves. When a woman who has found her animus unites with a man who has integrated his anima. So it's that full integration and bringing into balance and harmony of the divine feminine and divine masculine. And I know these are terms that's overcomplicated and used so much. And it's amazing with these algorithms. I just get all this relationship coaching stuff all the time on Instagram and this, how to make a man make you. And I'm just like, but in any case, let's just focus on the self. And where we can, the union can represent the hieros, I have a spelling mistake there, hieros gamos, with cosmic and karmic ties. This process is not linear and never complete. However, it has started and is fully conscious. So I feel with this, we're all in this up leveling, we're all in this raise of consciousness and awakening, from the 3D to the 5D, if, depending on where you're at with all of that and recognizing that. you know, we all have this process we're going to, and everybody's in a different place with that evolution. So this is something I want to now just invite you to close your eyes again. Well, you can look at this, but just to be kind of in a meditative state as I read through this. So this is Isis's chapel behind Dendera, Hathor's temple. And it's like where you would go when you get a full body alignment and attunement. So we went over there, and I must tell you, we were all very different when we left that room. So let's align with our body with love. So these are just affirmations that I want you to feel into and claim for yourself. It's about reclaiming. It's about reorganizing, reintegrating, embodying, and reclaiming. So I honor my body's needs. I love and accept me. Self-love is a practice I show up for daily. I retreat inward for inspiration. I appreciate who I see in the mirror. I'm compassionate with myself, and it takes time to heal. I love my body because of what it has overcome. And I know those that have given birth as well, you know, it's always good to remind ourselves when we've given birth, you know, what that initiation and feel like, and what we're capable also of enduring and birthing forth. My body is my sanctuary. I treat it kindly with love. So how do we treat ourselves? We always ask that before we kind of reflect how others are treating us. And also when you get that inner knowing, like this doesn't feel good, this is violating my sanctuary, and my body doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of love, is to step away. I speak kindly to myself. I'm my own friend. I'm vibrant and in picture health. How I feel is more important than how I look. I have unique gifts and talents that the world needs. Self-love is not about how I look or what I do. It's about how I live. I'm not damaged or wounded. There's nothing wrong with me. I appreciate my body and accept it for what it is. The only approval I need is my own. So this is adopted from Shannon Kaiser's book, The Self-Love Experiment. So this is a reminder. An empowered love starts with you. The intimacy, kindness, respect, adoration, compassion, empathy, playfulness, and gratefulness you shower upon yourself. Revel in your own love first and have the kind of relationship with your higher self that you would like in any kind of partnership. So now I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes again. As we do this, I have my Hathor bowl here. As we do this Hathor self-love mirror meditation. So Hathor's mirror is an ancient artifact of it. The mirror will represent the sun disk, and you have the cow horns on the side. There's different ones, they look different, always gold leaf. And a lot of times the handle also had I couldn't find a picture that I took of the handle looking like the goddess Hathor. But you could do this practice with a mirror, and you can even adorn your own mirror with a Make it a goddess mirror, a Hathor mirror. You know, bring in the colors of turquoise and gold. And so hold the handle as you hold yourself as the image of the beautiful goddess or god. Gaze upon your magnificence, your splendor, and the abundance and the love that you already have. So gaze upon that, gaze upon your beauty, admire yourself, revel in that beauty, that goddess-like beauty. In your mind's eye, look at all you appreciate about yourself. List it, like take some note. So that we don't need to be validated by anyone else. We can validate ourselves. You can name your name, speak it out loud, speak it with love. You can even sing yourself or hum to yourself, hug yourself, caress yourself. And then this is a practice that you can turn to at any time. You can bless this mirror, you can name it, you can adorn it. As you look into the roundness of the sun disk, we always have a sun meditation of calling back our soul parts, aligning with God the Ra frequency, which is like that unifying universal energy, and calling back parts of ourselves that we left with others or other relationships, even the thoughts and obsessions about that. Just call all that back as you call back the sun into you, that golden frequency, those golden specks. Just feel it, your whole body filling up with that again. Revel in that beauty that you are. Feel the gold just integrating into your whole body, so you can shine that light out to the world and just send your love blessings to everyone in your life. The ones you want to and the ones you don't want to even. Just send all that love out to everyone. And then just talking about the solar and lunar elements and alignments, you know, all the temples are aligned with these elements. And, you know, in November when we're going to go to Dendera, and we're going to be at the birth house, the Mamisi, with the sun alignment coming up. And then when we go to Siwa in May, for those interested, we're going to be actually for the lunar alignment, full moon ceremony, private visit at Dendera's temple, where we're going to be dancing and in the temple, which is quite an experience. But with these lunar and solar elements, and alignments, I just want to talk about past sexual partners as well. Very important practice that I recently started doing. You know, there's always, especially for women, there's an energetic component that stays behind from past sexual partners. So whether it's a relationship you're still holding dear or that you want to move on from, you want to release that energetic impression. You want to release that, and there's ways of doing it. A great way in meditation, and you can even envision this alignment when everything comes in alignment, is to use a orange candle, and you would write down the partner's names, and you would write down what initially was in alignment for you. What did you see? What did you resonate with? What was the attraction? And for their side too, like what was the attraction in you? Or how were they aligned with you? And then also, how was things left? Like, what's the takeaway? How's the emotions, the feelings after not being in a sexual relationship or intimate relationship with that partner anymore? And then what you want to release. And you write this down, and you will be burning this in the orange candle, and then hold the mudra over your womb space that you are releasing this energetic presence. I mean, men can do this too. Thing with men, it doesn't impact men as much as the womb space, because there's always a bit of the DNA that's left in the womb space from the man that a woman was with. So it's a great practice to do as you are cleaning house, your sanctuary, your house of Horus, if you like, your temple space, to allow new love to come in. So I just wanted to presence that practice as well.